Okay, Pythagorean theorem. This is not a new thing. We had it in algebra. Probably seen it since 7th grade or so. And we learned that in a right triangle, that is a key, in a right triangle, the leg squared plus the other leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So in a right triangle, you need to remember that the right angle, the side opposite the right angle, is called the hypotenuse. And then the other two sides are just called legs. Okay? Get some different colors out here. So we know that if we have, for example, sides that are 3, 4, and 5, then we know that if 3 squared plus 4 squared has to equal 5 squared. A couple things you need to remember about the hypotenuse is that 1, we already talked about, it's opposite the right angle. And 2, it's always the longest. So one thing you need to be careful of is making sure that your numbers, that your longest one is in the spot of the hypotenuse. So we have 9 plus 16 equals 25. 25 equals 25. That is a true statement, so I know that it is a right triangle. Well, what happens if maybe a squared plus b squared is less than c squared? It's not equal to, but it's less than. Or if a squared plus b squared is greater than c squared. What happens then? We know that if a squared plus b squared does equal c squared, then it is a right triangle. And we also know that if we switch this, that it's not going to change anything. It's still a right triangle. The reason why I switch it is because I think it's an easier way to remember. So if I have c squared is greater than a squared plus b squared, greater means bigger. So this is going to end up being an obtuse triangle. If I have c squared is less than a squared plus b squared, less than means smaller, and that is going to give me an acute triangle. Okay, so activity 1. And I would encourage you to pause so that you can actually work this out before I do. So try it on your own and then see what the solution is. What kind of triangle would be formed if the sides were 5, 15, and 14. So I would pause it now, try it on your own, and then resume the video. 5 squared plus 14 squared, I don't know what the relationship is going to be, so I'm going to put a big fat circle there. It equals 15 squared. Again, I'm putting the longest as the hypotenuse. So I have 25 plus 196, comparing that to 225. And grabbing my handy dandy calculator, 196 plus 25 gives me 221. Comparing that to 225, so I'm putting the less than sign in there, but also keep in mind how I had this set up of a squared plus b squared is whatever to c squared. So in this case, c squared is greater than a squared plus b squared. Okay, so maybe at the very beginning I should have done it this way just to be consistent with, to make it easier for you. So 225, comparing that to 221, it's going to be greater than, which means big, which means that this would form an obtuse triangle. Okay, so try another one of activity 2. What happens if the sides were 4, 6, and 9? So again, pause it, try it on your own. 4 squared plus 6 squared equals 9, not equals, sorry. Big fat circle, I don't know what should be in there. So 16 plus 36, comparing that to 81. 52 is less than 81, so 81 is greater than 52, so again the c squared is greater than the 52, so this is also going to be an obtuse triangle.